Hey, it's your boy, Sergeant Hogan Henshins. So we are talking about Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger episode 40. We are 9 episodes out from the end, or 10, whatever it's going to be, and I'm scared. Only because I really like this show, and yes, I know that Don Brothers are supposed to be very well connected to it, and la di la di la di da, but I'm going to really miss this show. Um, this was probably one of my very favorite episodes of this show. I know for a while I was saying that, like, oh, this one's my favorite. No, this one's my favorite. But this one was really, really good. Of course, the main focus of this episode is trying to save Isao, Goshikita Isao, Kaito's dad. And and the last episode had Hakaijuo, basically a Zenkaijuo knockoff for Hakaiser. And so he fights, and he of course kicks the shit out of everybody, knocks them out of their transformed, mecha state, and forms himself down into Hakaiser Kai. He's got a cape. He's a little bit different colored. Got some guns on his arms, and just more subdued and controlled by Toji Tendo and Ijirude. And so he kicks their butt for a while, and I think they end up escaping too. And they're all really worried because they're not sure like what they're going to do next, and not sure how they're going to save Isao. We actually have a really nice moment with Zox where he's pissed about it, and he's like, "I told him," and Flint's like, "What?" She's like, "I told Kaito we need to take care of this quickly, or else you're not going to have a chance to save him." And so they're going back and forth and having their little brother and sister relationship thing, and she makes him feel better, and she's like, "It means a lot that you're concerned about him, but you need to help him and support him." And the rest of the team is really worried about him, and they tell Yatsude that Hakaijo, the kaiju, the giant monster, is her son, and she's like, "Really?" And she's kind of like a little like stressed out by it, clearly, and like upset, distraught, if you will. And Kaido comes back into it. And he's like, "Guys, I need to talk to all of you." He brings everybody together. He goes, "So we need to do this now." He's like, we need to take him out. We need to stop him now and bring back my dad. If for some reason we can't, then we need to, take him and capture him and like either knock him out or something and keep him somehow contained on like the edge of space or between dimensions or something. And that's when Zox comes in. He's like, "Is that something you need me to help with?" And he's like, "Sure." And Yatsune asks him, "Please, Zox, like something, like we need a backup plan for our backup plan at this point." And so they start to come up with their plan and what they're going to do. And Zox is clearly upset about everything as well, because I mean, clearly he's part of the team as well, and he cares about them. They're his good friends. So he starts to go outside with Flint, and here comes Stacy. He brings a data disk, and he's like, "What's this?" He goes, "Use it, check it out. It might help you guys." So it's clear that Stacy cares about Kaito and cares about Yatsude, and honestly, probably the team and just in general helping more than he cares about being part of Tochi Tendo, which he really never felt like he was part of anyway. And he's always been, belittled and treated like shit by his dad anyway, by Rashitara. And I think it extends past the whole Hakaiser thing, because he talked to Hakaiser and he's like, "You sure you like these upgrades?" He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You're not really in control of it anymore." And he's like, I'm under the service of Bokowas and Injiru. They're my masters, blah blah blah." And like he's like, "Don't talk to me, lower life form." And yeah, just not talking how he normally sees them. So I think that upset him enough to want to, you know, break everything and mess everything up. And so he gives them the disc, and they analyze it. And the plan is that inside of Kaijuo is a place where Hakaiser is, Kaiser Kai, with these wires all trapped around him, keeping him in place and keeping him in control. And so they fight. They do their mecha fight. He's fighting Zemryoku Zenkaio, and pretty like tit for tat, equally crazy enough. Um, and they Zoc sneaks in and he fights a few grunts, and then he's able to free Hakaiser, gets him out, and then it's him and Kaito forming Zenkaijuo, fighting Hakaijuo to destroy it. Now that Hakaiser's not inside, and Hakaiser's actually fighting the rest of the team. So Jiran, Mashin, Frun, and Gawan. And their plan is they keep showing him pictures of his life when he was born with young Yatsude, when he was in school, his science, experiments, stuff like that, meeting the mother, and just in general, like important moments in his life, especially like when he got married to his wife, when Kaito was born, things like that. All of it starts to, and they're like at certain points holding him so he can look at the pictures and see and trigger his memories. Starting to break through, but it's a little bit tough, and his energy meter's going down a little, but not enough. So Zox Kaito defeat Hakaijuo. They come down, and it was a really cool scene of Kaito saying, "Father, look at me. This is your creation." And he transforms into Zenkaiger. And it's like a slow mo shot of him walking the suit forming, and he walks a little bit more, and then the helmet forms. Peak Sentai moment. So cool, especially the effects for it, like the visor and everything else forming. So awesome. Um, so he fights Hakaiser. He's using his Geertlinger and the Zamoraku Zenkai cannon at the same time. He's fighting him. He's trying to break through, like, Dad, you're there. I know you're there. Blah blah blah. They're going at it. They're doing their thing. There is no world monster in this episode at all. I don't think, if I remember right. If I did, then I forgot about him. So finally breaks through. Kaiser shooting his little arm blasters. Of course, Zenkaiser has Kaito has the Geertlinger and Zamoraku Zenkai cannon. He breaks through, hits his dad really hard with a blast there, knocks him back, and fully pulls him out of the suit, out of that Kaiser suit. And he finally awakens, and he's like, "Oh my God, my son!" He's like, "Oh," he's like, "I'm 21 now." And he's like, "Wow, you've grown so much." And Kaito is like in hysterics about it. So happy that they freed his dad. And you see Stacy in the vet looking at him, and he seems happy, but also probably a little let down that he won't have a Kaiser in his life anymore. I'm hoping that they're moving towards Stacy just reforming and joining the team instead of anything else. I don't know if there's enough time for that, and if it's been confirmed at all who's playing Don Momotaros. I would love, my pipe dream would be for Stacy to become the red of the next team, but who knows. He's supposed to be introduced in episode 42, Don Momotaro says. So that'll be really cool to see that. But yeah, Stacy is clearly conflicted, a little more so than he was before. So they freed him, and they bring him back to the to Colorful, to the candy shop, and they bring him on, like, here he is, and he sees Yasha, and he's like, Mother, and she's like, well, it took you long enough, and oh, my heart, they're both crying, and I was about to cry, and it was just very emotional, and I think I felt emotional because I'd recently just seen Spider-Man No Way Home, and I was emotional then, so seeing it happen like that, along with the episode, was like, my heart. But it was a fantastic episode, especially their whole plan. What I like with this team is that we don't always see them putting together their plan, and they seem the kind of team that at first glance are a bunch of idiots, but they're actually very smart, and they do come up with some really unique plans to beat their different villains and, like, in general, win the day. Like the whole thing of, like, a while back with Zox wanting to duel Kaito, and that he was told to by Dojo Tendo, and they'd give him blah blah blah, and it was never real. He was just making it look that way. That was cool. I liked how concerned Zox was about Kaito and his dad. I'm hoping we have enough time to deal with the whole SD Bot Pro thing, and they're becoming human again, what we're doing there. So it was really good. This episode was fantastic. Really great character interactions, and just a nice end to the whole Hakaiser arc. I'm hoping they do something with that, and maybe he, like, builds a remote control Hakaiser that can help to fight, or a changer that lets him turn into Hakaiser still, or a reformed version of some kind. I don't know for sure if they're gonna do that. They might not. I don't know. But yeah, it was a really, really, really good episode. I'm not so happy with the next episode because it seems to be another goofy nothing happens episode about udon versus ramen, and Kaito's dad's in the episode too, and I don't really know what we're doing with it, but it's fine. I try not to knock Zenkaiger too hard for that, because I know that its aim is to be entertaining to children and to have this more, like, goofy comedic side to itself. But it's possible to have that without shadowing or not even pushing forward your main plot. Like, yes, I know we got Kaito's dad back, but the mom's still gone. Is Stacy gonna reform? And then at the end of the episode, for this episode, we see Gege say, the time has finally come. Like, what does that mean? We have time for that in 8-9 episodes, So overall, I probably would honestly give this a really strong 10 out of 10. I really enjoyed the episode. I loved the character interactions, and just in general, the plot that happened was really, really good. And I just really had a great time with it. I was entertained by it all the way through. I'm interested in seeing what's going to happen going forward, and maybe the reason we're getting a fillery, goofy episode for 41 is because 42 is supposed to be Don Momotaros' debut. If you don't know, the next Sentai is called Avataro Sentai Don Brothers. We're not so sure what the full motif is. We did get a full reveal picture of, like, the whole team, two of which seem to be going to be CG characters, which is odd. black and pink. We're getting male pink, by the way. Pretty cool. Um, so it seems that Don Momotaro's the red of that team is going to debut in Zenkaiger. Episode 42 is when he's supposed to debut. I don't know if he's going to be in that all the way to the end or just in like a few episodes, and then he'll go and do his own thing and then eventually meet back up with Kaito, because Kaito and Jiron are supposed to both be part of Don Brothers for a little bit as well. To the point where Don Momotaro is supposed to use a Geertlinger for a while before eventually having a what's called Don Blaster or something like that. So, but yeah, the suits look great, and I'm really excited for it. I want to know some more details, but we're not going to get those till February with the press conference. But yeah, so like I said, that's what we're looking forward to right now. As far as the channel, I did review Revice episode 15. If you guys are willing to watch that one, let me know what you guys think of the review and of the show in general. I should, by this point, hopefully have at least my part 1 of my favorite top 10 favorite Super Sentai seasons up. And hopefully part 2 either recording or recorded. I don't know if I uploaded. But yeah, and I hope to I'm going to try and squeeze in trying to do the same for Kamen Rider by the end of the year before 2022 starts. But we'll see how that goes. But again, thank you guys so much for an awesome year here on good old YouTube. It's not been a full year since I started doing all of this tokusatsu stuff on the channel. But I really appreciate you guys. I have been getting so many subscribers. I mean, I only started with 60-ish something, and I'm already at 240 something right now, which is absolute insanity to me. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys for subscribing, for watching, liking, sharing, all that stuff, commenting when you can. I really appreciate it. It's a really nice way for me to be able to get off my chest what I feel about these shows and be excited about them without having to weigh down my wife who doesn't watch tokusatsu or other people who don't. Really, it's a lot of like my good online friends that understand that kind of stuff. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all you guys so much. And until next time, stay hooked on Hutchins. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.